Hi everybody, welcome back to my Black Anime Review. This is season 4, episode 12. We have a lot of stuff covered today. Oh my goodness. One episode, so we see that Jennifer is on the phone and she's seen through old videos of her and Uriah through her social media, and we see that Jefferson comes in and talks to her, and then he mentions of how the fact that he said that they'll be really helping out. However, we're not really sure if he still goes to therapy or not, but he's saying acknowledges that it works. We understand that JJ feels a lot hurt that other people will be hurt along the way because of her. Jefferson actually tells Jennifer something that he's never told his daughters, is the fact that he saw Alvin, who was Jefferson's dad, about how he saw him being murdered in the house, and the fact that he tells her that he can't save everyone. And on top of that, he also mentions that JJ is the only person between Freeland and Tobias who can stand up and do something. Basically, what he's saying is that she's the only one who can do so because of her powers, and I believe that that's the wish they would get over the fact that the powers would fight themselves. I feel like that's what Jefferson is pretty much saying. I feel like something that's very important is that Jefferson he still can do a lot of good with his own name, with his Black Planet's name. If you don't really understand that, and he doesn't even, both him and JJ don't even go to Crossroads because of how bad things are treating us too in the city. So we see that Gambi and Lauren, we see that Lauren is hacked into Movisa's server, and it's a really big risk that she's doing, and to let her into prison. And on top of that, she really has no idea why the Prometheum and the Middle are involved with the stolen Medellin, and Gambi can't really tell the secret to Lauren that he can, but he won't. And I feel like that's a really big factor, and it shows Gambi's loyalty to the Pierce family, and I really respect it. I really love that he has the opportunity to do it, and even though he can, and I really feel like Jefferson and Lynn wouldn't mind if he told her, right? However, I feel like the fact that he doesn't tell her, he tells Lauren that's not his secret to tell. I feel like that shows a lot of great things about what a person Gambi is. So we love that. So Gambi and Lauren, they talk to each other, and Nissa and joins in the conversation, and they talked about the fact that the Medellin harvesting project is known as Event Horizons, and that's something that basically Nissa mentions the schematic, which is a diagram for the electric circuit. So basically, it's data that has information about the Medellin, and they mentioned that it feels worthless to blow up the building that has the servers because the ownership some way has ties of Tobias, and there's a plan to do the mission, and the mission is to blow up the servers because we find out later that in the scene that Gambi has a computer that he has a bunch of viruses for the servers, so he definitely prepared for it. And we see that Tobias he's about to have ownership of Alvin's house, and which is Jefferson's late father, and all Tobias needs is Jefferson's signature in order to make it happen. And he sees the box close, which is the board members basically, and he touches it, and basically, so we see that the board members are talking to Tobias of how the fact that Tobias is mayor, but he hasn't succeeded because Laline is still a matter. So basically, Tobias has somebody, I think is Ishmael, because that's the only assassin we know of that is able to who can't decide that, but he kills one of the board members, and the rest of the board members are decided to kneel down for Tobias because they don't want the same thing to happen to him. And the reason why he was that board member guy died is because the assassin had the meta booster on with and the bracelet as well, so basically he's able to turn himself invincible and kill the board member. That's how he was able to do it. So we see back in the headquarters, we see that Gabby is able to loop and then some anchor model signal into her house so she can roam around free in Freeland without getting in trouble. And it sounds so simple, so which is for Gabby, so I love that Gabby was able to help Lynn out with that. At first, when we see the board members, right, talking to the fact that he's able to cloak himself, the assassin, right? I didn't really understood how that was possible, but in the next scene we see that Lynn and Gabby, they basically mentioned the fact that the Prometheum was able to was what the assassin had on. Like basically he had the Prometheum mineral material in order for it to work. So I feel that's how I was able to become invincible with clothing because he has the Prometheum, and now it really makes sense why he was able to be invincible. Gabby tells Lynn about the Prometheum that back then that Gravedigger was able to, when he was fighting lightning, she had her powers that activate the bedrock and soil, like the minerals, and the fact that one of these wanted to get their hands on that because the minerals turned into Prometheum. That's how it's able to. That's how it started. So we see that Lynn has an idea on tracking the emitter, and she says that she has a plan for that, but she will tell him later. And then for now, she wants to track Val's metagenic power signal to get through the camouflage chain. The Jefferson comes in the headquarters and tells Gabby and Lynn that he has a solution to help the family out with the fact that Tobias is able to do all these things because he knows the secret identities, and the fact that yes, Jefferson has this plan to erase Tobias' memories from the pieces, and there's a possibility that they're able to do that with the Prometheum because Jefferson doesn't have his powers. I feel like there has to be more than that. I feel like regardless if it works or not, what would the memory things? Why would Tobias losing his memory really accomplish? I feel like Tobias still wants to let go of Freeland regardless whether or not the Jefferson and his family are involved or not. So I feel like he still wants to rule Freeland anyways. He has all his history with the other characters anyways. And even if if it did work, I feel like he would still be going after Jefferson because of his history with him and his family. So regardless, I feel like erasing his memory really won't do much, to be honest. That's just me thinking about that. Hassan tells Anna Lopez about the fact that her husband had meta powers inside of him, and he did all these reckless things, and she decides to let Hassan handle lightning like his way for now. So basically what is happening is that Lopez wants to capture lightning. However, she's gonna let Hassan do it his way because they will make sure the task force doesn't act up like her late husband who had meta powers that went off the rails. Khalil has looked her, and he's driving her to Freeland to get her to testify to help Jefferson and Will. And Jefferson, then we see that Khalil and Painkiller is basically talking to themselves about Luther, and there's not much going on in that scene, so we do see them later on, and we'll get to them back in a second. But for now we see that Jefferson calls Tobias because of the house that he has to sign, and they have to meet up within the hour. That's something that is really important in this episode. So guess where JJ wants to go? Not enough beer. Again, so we see that JJ and TC, they talked about how the fact that she wants basically revenge for Uriah's death, because she TC mentions there's a difference between justice and revenge, and JJ doesn't really listen to TC and just wants to go to the Iron Spear to have no charge to fight Reddit one more time. Lauren finally meets Lynn because of a campaign. Lynn finds a way to trace and notify the Promethean's metagenetic sequence, and Lynn thinks it's better if they can modify the original algorithm that Lauren created in order to try the emitter. And Lynn tells Lauren about her family being meta, so that's a secret that Campy didn't want to tell at the beginning of the episode. Now Lauren is filled in, so now things can really move forward even better and faster, and because Lauren knows how to keep a secret. So I feel like Lauren is really trusting so far. I really hope she doesn't double cross them. However, I don't think it's gonna lead up to that. That'd be surprising too, because I feel like Lauren is has been really trustworthy throughout all this. She even wants to. She is risking a lot by doing all this stuff. So for her Buena Vista career. So I feel like it's hurt knowing the Pierce's secret, and this is really useful, and I feel like she deserves to know it. So now we're back with Khalil and Lurker, and basically Khalil wants Painkiller to fight Ishmael, and they fight, and he ends up poisoning him and eventually killing him. So that was really surprising, to be honest. I really love that Khalil and Painkiller, they really have done a lot of things within all this, and then we see that within all this stuff with it communicating with each other, and it really worked out really well. We see that Hassan and Mason, they show up and they take Lurker because Khalil called them to meet up, and because Khalil's tires are smashed, so he can't go anywhere. So yeah, Lurker is now apprehended, and she's willing to testify to help Jefferson. So about what she did back then in the early season. So he's seen earlier in season 2 of Black Lightning, and Khalil gives Hassan a dose to help her be harmless and not go off the rails, helping everyone out. Okay? And it's a low dose too, so I don't know how long they're planning on having Lurker in Freeland, or if she's gonna let her, and if they'll let her transfer her to another jail cell or anything like that. For the one that makes he has a little bit of a dose, maybe the movie has something to help Lurker not use the powers anymore. Who knows? So we see that Campy gives Jefferson a device to make Tobias lose his memory, and he only has one shot to do so. So we see that Anissa and Grace are talking to each other, and we see that I noticed right away that Anissa is wearing her Blackbird outfit, and I felt like she was never to wear that again, because a few episodes back we seen that it seemed like she didn't want to be. There's in some way it felt like Anissa didn't want to be Blackbird again, but apparently she is in a way, because she's wearing the outfit. So that's something I really find interesting, is that she still wants to be Blackbird. So I really love that. So anyways, basically Anissa and Grace, they talk to each other about Buena Vista with much lied to the pregnant women about the metagene powers and all these things, and basically Grace is the mother to find out about the lies that Buena Vista did, because Grace doesn't want the models to be traumatized, and I agree with Grace on that. So Grace and Anissa, they decide to do the mission and all these things, and Grace wants to have the models have a happily ever after. So that's really great that they were able to do so. That Anissa and Grace are able to make that happen and help them out with that. So we see that Jefferson tells Lynn that he updated his will just in case something happens, and we see that the conversation is really meaningful. And back to with Anissa and Grace, we see that they hack the servers and they blow up the rest of the building that has the one of these servers, so they're able to complete the mission. So we see that JJ is up in the Iron Spear, and TC found Red, and JJ basically fought Red, and JJ breaks Red's bracelet that had meta boosted powers. So basically she turns Red in front of Anna Lopez, and Anna yells at JJ and tells her that she will hunt her down, and JJ records her basically, and it's kind of weird just how she's able to record without the lens. That it feels a little weird that she's able to record her without a lens. So that was a little bit hard, but anyways, moving on from that, he has a flash drive of proof that he's involved with Tobias. So Lopez goes in with him and the officer, and basically most of her co-workers are looking at her funny in terms of how she's shooting lightning, and she ends up taking out the meta boosters, and she's really upset. And so it's to be interesting what type of meta powers Anna will have later on. And at first I thought she was gonna take more than one, but I'm glad she didn't. Oh my goodness. Lopez wants to hunt JJ down, but for what? There's really no reason why, despite all that JJ has done in the reckless stuff that she's done for the Iron Spear, there's no real reason for Lopez to apprehend her for what she's still one who's helping Freeland out. She literally gave her Red. So I don't know what Anna's big deal is. Jefferson meets up with Tobias, and he misses his one shot to erase his memory, and he tells Tobias that he was there that night his dad died, and Tobias ends up fighting Jefferson, and JJ gets a call from Tobias, and he shows a photo of Jefferson on the floor, and he basically tells her that he killed Jefferson, and I don't think Jefferson is dead truly. I think he's really knocked out or unconscious, but I feel like he's trying to scare JJ. But even if he really is dead, then that's really shocking, because I feel like it wasn't as impactful. I feel like we didn't see it happen, you know what I mean? So yeah, just overall a really amazing episode. I feel like there's a lot of things covered there. We see that Trilla was also involved, and being involved really helped that. Will probably help Jefferson out if hopefully Jefferson isn't dead. So, and we see that Lowen and Linda were able to track hopefully they were able to track the emitter before it's too late, and we see that all these things happen with the rest of the Pierce family. Is really interesting. I really feel like this episode was done really well, and I feel like there's a lot of things that happened in this episode that I really enjoyed. I feel like there's a lot of ground. I feel like it really progressed really well, and the characters really helped each other out really well, and they're trying to understand Museum more, and the fact that they were able to see. I feel like this was the one time that JJ really has successfully has been in the Iron Spear and came down with stronger than ever. So, and more officially. So, hopefully she's able to save Freeland from Tobias, and and hopefully like save Ana Lopez as well, because I feel like Lopez isn't really like doing things really. She's not taking straight, and she didn't even let Hassan have like his team really find lightning. So I don't know why Hassan's starting about Lopez when he sees her down in that way with the meta boosters. So yeah, just I feel like this episode was really amazing. So hopefully you enjoy this episode. Here's the other Black Lightning reviews I've done, and you subscribe right here. I'll see you guys next week for the final episode of Black Lightning. Oh my goodness, just watching.